Hello and welcome to GG Mars Hill. We play good games all day, every day. I am your host Mars Hill, and we are doing a tips and tricks video for the tips and tricks series. It's not really tips and tricks; it's more like a patch overview, so to speak. As Mr. Simberger here, the developer of Warfall: The Overworld, has been quite a nice chap, and he's been pushing through plenty of updates in order to get all these fixes through. I'm not sure really where we should start. I guess I'm going to start with the more recent ones, because all the ones prior to that seem to be bug fixes and not necessarily balances within the game, so to speak. So I'm going to carry on from where Noontide has started with version 1.011, which I think there's been quite a few good things in terms of improvement. So we'll begin at the top here with version 1.011 to 1.012, or well, they've been put together. Start off tavern oven capacity has been increased by 200%, which is pretty damn good. Okay, because I remember you could only fill it up with about 5 micro piglets, which was a bit of a pain because you always could see like your workers consistently going back to the slaughter pen or the slaughterhouse, or what is it, micro piggy facility as I like to call it, and consistently going back and forth just filling it up, which actually took a lot of time away from them, from like building traps or mining more gold for you, or even taking your prisoners to your prison, which it's quite, you need that in order to convert them with your succubi and your torture chamber. Another thing that I think is really good, because I found this quite annoying here, the room too small notification should now trigger less often. They were constantly coming through saying, oh yes, your slaughter pen is too small, please enlarge, or your minions are hungry. But I found it was probably because I had like multiple slaughter pens rather than one big huge one, so maybe it was triggering for those certain rooms that were just small and a lot of minions were going to that particular one. So I'm glad they fixed that. Next one, fixed a bug introduced in version 1.09 that broke the tavern. That's always good. You need to have pretty well cooked food, or cannibalism. You can drop minions inside it. Cleaned up the mini-map paint colors. Yes, I'm really glad they've done that, because there wasn't a lot of clarity in the mini-map. All you would see were these rings just ping up everywhere, and you couldn't really ascertain as to what they were for quite easily. It wasn't easily identifiable. This one here will be beneficial, because now your cultist will stay in the sanctuary and actually finish a ritual, rather than just leaving it to ponder. Just like, right, I'm kind of in mid ritual phase here, can you please finish me? The next one, fixed infinite spirit workers spawning from the spirit workers artifact. Right, okay, I haven't come across the spirit workers artifacts yet, but I guess that is balanced it just ever so slightly. Fixed an issue with the spirit workers after saving loading. I haven't come across that, but yeah, again, there's another fix, which is good. Rave summoned by the necromancer and the archon now last 15 seconds, but will heal themselves massively when attacking. That's good, because you could get like a horde of what should we call it? What they're called, raves, but they would last for ages. And if you could get plenty of like dead minions in your crypt, and your necromancer and archon would just constantly spawn them, you'd have this unbeatable army, which is quite a pain in the backside if you're against someone like that. Raves summoned through other means now die slightly faster, so whatever that means, probably other means not being from the crypt, and probably dead bodies on the battlefield. Doubled the gold cost and build time of replacement earth. Right, that's good, because you could easily just block off passageways with earth really quickly, and it was relatively cheap as well. Increased torture speed by 125%. Yes, thank you. That means we can convert our minions, or just kill people quicker, so as we can get those scouting, floating skull soul things, lost souls I believe they are. So you get free scouts in a sense if you want to quickly scout the enemy base, and the enemy doesn't see them, and they pretty much float around for ages, which is quite good. Fix a crash caused by Skargs in combat, good. Fix a crash caused by a non-existent audio file, that's good as well. Potentially fix an issue that caused units and defenders to not die once they reach 0 health. Haven't come across that, but it's a fix, isn't it? I'm going to say level 8 boss is now level 10. I'm now just pushing into the episode 8 of the campaign series, so we'll see if that has made it harder. Level 8 Emperor's Crypt now actually has the Emperor's statue on it. It had been stolen by the Priestess Crypt. Okay. Severely increased game performance when loading saves on certain levels. Good. Fixed matriarchs committing suicide with their level 5 ability, which is a Spirit Army. An updated main text menu. Okay, that's good as well. Unit attack speed now capped at 2.5. I guess that's pretty good in the sense, you know, you don't want to have like a horde of minions with like more than 2.5. Or is that low or high? Is that 2.5 attacks a second? I don't know. That's not really. There's not a lot of clarity in that. Version 1.013, limited combat setup potential by limiting the base power and speed of units to a maximum. Ah, right, okay, I remember coming across this. I guess that may be... It's just to ensure that you're not overly swarmed, I suppose. If like a lot of units have, you know, they scale up to a much higher speed as they level up, or I'm not entirely sure. I'll probably have to look into that one a bit more. Raising Race in Campaign 8 will probably make corpses rot away and play the correct visual effects. Yet again, as I'm going into that campaign, so I'm glad they fixed that. Disabled some alerts triggering for units in the arena. Good, because I was constantly getting your minions are fighting an enemy, but they were actually just training in the beast arena where you could train your beasts. Improve the ability to drop defense parts with the ability, Hand of Evil ability. That's good, because sometimes your imps are always quite preoccupied, or your workers, sorry, in gathering gold or mining out rooms for you. So, and also if you need to build up your defenses quickly, this is quite beneficial as well. Especially in campaign mission number 7, when you have that you have to hold off and protect Raskos's heart, as you saw in the video that I put together. Fixed broken event which tracks the gold mined during level. Right, okay. Broken translation keys and debuts. Okay, that's good as well. Fixed the float overflow, causing some performance. Good. We always want better performance, don't we, in our games. Fixed a null reference when reloading from a save file. Good. Fixed a performance issue related to pig spawning. Right, okay. Not sure if I've come across that. Fix a null reference on campaign 2, which could cause issues, should now be reloadable even during cutscenes. Fix several issues with loading save files, right. Fixed a failure, right, okay, right. Well, let's move on to version 1.014. So it just seems to be loads of fixes, not so much balances just yet. So the first point here, fixed a failure to launch bug. Oh yeah, that's always good. You want to be able to actually start the game, don't you? Hopefully this should resolve the issue for many players. Good. Corpses are now no longer added to the unit panel on loading a save game. I haven't encountered that because I've always just played through normally a whole mission rather than saving it. So I guess if I need to do... I will be religiously doing parts now, as opposed to just trying to do a big chunk like I have done. I mean, I said in my last campaign mission I'd do it, well, I did do it for 30 minutes and then did a very quick 8 minutes where I just conquered the level. But I'm going to keep it to the 20-minute mark. That way, if you guys fancy a break in between those missions, you know, 20 minutes is long enough, I think. And then that way it leaves a little bit of cliffhanger between the parts. The game will no longer spam alerts after units leave combat for unit needs and will instead wait until units have had their needs unseen for a while. I guess that's good. I guess it maybe improves the happiness of your minions. And that way it gives them time to quickly, you know, gives them time to move away from combat and just eat, sleep, and do whatever they need to do. Game UI on ultra-wide resolution has been fixed. Good. Fixed gold piles flying in the air. Yes, I've noticed that. Thank you. That was Total Biscuit who brought it up, so TB, I'm assuming. But yeah, I've noticed those in game, which is a bit annoying. Made it so gold which is dropped into a vault or dungeon core will automatically occupy free space. Yes, that's good, because I've noticed when I wanted funds quickly, or gold quickly, I've picked it up and I've had to really just place it within the tile area rather than just placing it within the room. So that makes it a lot easier for vault and dungeon core. So what's this one? It is now simpler to drop gold onto units to increase their happiness. Good. Warding totems no longer confuse Mendikaus. He will no longer follow the defenses. Right, okay, that's good. Mendikaus is the mentor that we have that's constantly speaking to us. Fixed combat alerts from units which take damage over time, e.g. Frostweaver or Wraith. Okay, that's good as well. Several new unit images in the UI. Yeah, good. We love new pictures, so we've got to love new pictures. Set a random delay on minions' payday gold gathering to spread the performance impact of pathfinding across a longer time period. Right, I've noticed with each payday, up to I've been away recently. I haven't been able to play Wolf of the Overworld. But each time there was a payday, there was like a sudden spike of frame rate lag or performance lag. So hopefully that fixes that issue. Fixed an issue where garbage collection occurred at the same time as payday, completely coincidental, causing a freeze on some systems. I didn't know there was a garbage collection, or maybe this is some sort of joke on their part. Maybe you guys can help me clarify what that is. Minions are now being equipped with compass, now face right direction while working. Brilliant. Fixed the imminent destruction of subterranean HQ. Oh yeah, I've seen that picture. That's quite funny. They've got like one little bucket, and apparently I think there's water coming out the ceiling in the kitchen. Version 1.015. Right, now here comes bug fixes, balance changes, and other changes and known issues identified by QA for this build. Right, so bug fixes. The combat status notifications now flashes each time a unit is attacked. Good. Give units gold by hand now. Compensate for payday in addition to making units. Right, that's good, because you don't want to give them like 3,000 gold and they're like, well, it's payday now, I'm going to take even more gold from you. So that's benefit. Oh no, does that mean... so say you've got some people, maybe it's like if they're unhappy and it's Mars and it is payday, but they weren't able to get to the payday, you could drop it onto them, and that they would consider that as their payday funds. I don't know. In addition, it will make units take less gold for the next. Right. Okay. There you go. There you are. So if you pay them more in advance, it's like having an advanced pay slip, so to speak. Worker rally icon has now been replaced with the correct icon. Good. Random the Chaos jokes are now played 20% less often, yeah, because they used to come through and they were rather random and not really in context with how you're playing. I mean, I think they should link it if you've got vampires in your dungeon. It should play the vampire jokes, because like, what was it? There's one where it says something like, the vampires now raising the stakes within or in gambling or something. But I haven't, you don't have any vampires, so it reduces the immersion for me, I would say. Where was I? Fixed impasse not preventing workers from claiming enemy tiles. I guess that just means that they can claim enemy tiles more effectively now. Vastly improved the claiming of enemy dungeon cores. Good. That means we can take over their dungeon area quickly. Spirit Worker artifact no longer persists, allowing you to use it. Right, okay, good. Player stat tracking is now correctly serialized, blah blah blah. Fixed another null ref bug which could be the root cause of server crash. Good. We always like crash fixes. Fixed a bug where the arena might be accessed before it is initialized. Right. Fixed a bug where the wrong animation was being used on the Blade of Lotus. Right, okay. Improved our... Yeah, I think I've noticed that one on the Blade of Lotus. Like, it would just stay constantly popped up, or it would do it inadvertently. So, I'm glad they've done that. Improved our debugging tools. Right, good. Fixed an issue which allowed units to escape a map by tunneling below the impenetrable rock. Well, I'm glad they fixed that, because I haven't come across it, and if I had, I would have been quite mad. Fixed C7 reloading, right, good. Knockouts are now correctly recognised by the save load system. Fixed invisible high guard on... Right, I can't really account for anything above level 7 for the time being, as you know. Fixed an issue, allow the canals to be destroyed, good. Additional checks put in place to prevent units from moving outside the map. That's always good. You don't want all your units just dropping off the side and you've got no one defending your base, or you can't even do an offensive because they've all decided to leave the game effectively. Balance changes now. This is what we want to see. Cost of acquiring sins increased slightly. Good, because I played one multiplayer game where I was immediately rushed by the... If you go down the beast tree on the Singe, right at the bottom, I think it's like you can, the Behemoth someone managed to rush that insanely quick in the multiplayer, and he just rushed me with beasts. I felt completely powerless because I went for a more balanced build approach with my sins, like more on the archive down the middle build tree. But you know, I will be doing more multiplayer game. Well, I will be doing multiplayer games for you guys, so as you can see how you can actually play out different strategies depending on the situation and the map. Passive research rate of sins in skirmish multiplayer increased slightly. Good. Reduce the amount of attack speeds gained from level 10%. Good. Right, that's brilliant. That's I think this bit here, where they talk about the amount of attack speed that they gain per level and the attack power units gain from per level. So this has gone from 10% to 5% in terms of attack speed. This has gone from 10 to 15% increase in terms of power gained, and increased the health unit gains as they level from 2.5 to 7.5. I have noticed that prior to this, minions have died quite quickly due to the high DPS output of higher level minions. They can just hit quickly. And this allows you to actually save minions quicker. You're able to heal them in between auto attacks, and it just makes it a bit more easier to micromanage, I would say. Increase the slow on the Scourger's lunge from 50 to 75%. Now that's quite a big buff, I would say. Increase the cost of payday by 150%. That's massive. So you're really gonna have to learn how to manage your gold income. Decreased wage increase per level of units by 25, okay, so that's kind of like a counterbalance there in a sense. Increased slap damage from 30 to 60, yeah, alright, that's good. Double the efficiency increase gained by slapping units, right, so it's a double increase in damage and then a double increase in efficiency, so that works in our favour, I suppose. Increase the base population from 45 to 55, nice, that's good. Increase gateway population increase from 30 to 40, that's even better. Increase the speed of torture by 50%, previous increase of 120 didn't actually happen. Right, okay, so 50% is better than nothing. Significantly reduced Lord of Thelan's health and damage. I killed the bastard, so pardon profanity, but it was, you know, I didn't have any trouble. Well of Souls now locks 40 mana. Right, okay, now this is where it comes into the mana part, where you have to really think about how you have to manage your mana, where I'm going to be doing a mana management tips and tricks guide. But yeah, as you can see, a Well of Mana now locks 40 mana. Bombard, which is the cannon, now locks 25 mana instead of 35, so that's 10 mana decrease, which is good. Bone Chiller now locks 25 instead of 75. That's really good. Movement speed of Kenos imbued workers has been decreased, okay. Reduced rate at which vampires get angry by 4. Yeah, because they got really angry really quickly, like stupidly quickly. You would have made one from your sanctuary by doing the sanctuary research or the ritual, sorry, and within the next 2 to 3 minutes they would be angry and start attacking your minions, and I found that quite aggravating. Other changes: added a new sacred tile set, good, because it was just looked like a dirty tile. It just looked like mud. Unclaimable dirty ground, so that's nice. Kickstarter's founder's names added to the founder's theme, brilliant. Some unit labels updated. Mirror's Chasm has had the number of stalagmites reduced, I guess that's a performance issue. Sanctuary now spawns pretty stone pentagrams on the tiles that can be worked by cultists. Lovely. I think I have seen that, so if you were to have just a 3x3 sanctuary, it would just be the sanctuary ritual, like, sacrificial table, but if you increase it to 5x5, that would be surrounded by pentagrams, which allows was it 4 by 4 pentagrams, maybe more. I'll have to have a look at that. So effectively 4x4 was that 1 2 3 4 5. Yeah, maths isn't my forte, but it's something like 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus 2 6, yeah, 12. Yeah, I'm good at maths. I'm choking, ever so sorry. Right, and the last one here, a number of game text updates. Brilliant, because it just looked like placeholder text, and it made, when you had a look at the tooltips, it just looked as if it was a unfinished game. I watched the video by Total Biscuit, which was basically what the fuck is Wolf of the Overworld. And he does go on to say that, yeah, it does feel unfinished in that sense, but it really is an embodiment of what Dungeon Keeper 1 and 2 is, and it's just carried on that legacy, which is nice. Last bit here, known issues identified by QA for this new build. Earth walls on the tutorial level are highlighted as blue. Right. When tiles are up against impenetrable rock, they always use the default dungeon theme for walls, e.g. Empire used dungeon theme. Right, okay, so they've got to fix that, I suppose. So the Empire, if they were up against, if part of their room was against the impenetrable rock, it would appear like the theme of your own dungeon, as opposed to like the Empire hero theme. Inhibitor on campaign 2 is not playing its death animation correctly. Well, that's fair enough. Right, so that's all that on here, but we're going to move on to a more up-to-date patch notes, which is this one here, 1.018 by Noontide. And this has got a lot of stuff on it. It looks really good. So hi all, we're just pushing a new patch to Steam. The biggest improvements you'll see is that we've identified and fixed the memory leak that has been causing crashes and performance issues for a large portion of players. Hopefully a good number of you should see some significant improvements due to this. Our next priority is too many threads crash. Yes, I've experienced that a few times, which I'm glad they're going to fix. We're still hunting other issues where we're rolling out improvements. Here is the game. But please report official forums following the guidelines in this thread. It will help us to the bottom of the issues quicker. Brilliant. So I'm very glad that the Subterranean games are really answering the issues with the game so far, which is good. Which makes us happy, makes us all happy. You know, good game. We play good games all day, every day. We don't want this to turn into a bad game because the developers aren't supporting the community. So, first of all, let's have the bug fixes for this version 1.018. Fixed a memory leak related to the Fog of War system, good. Fixed the issue where tiles are incorrectly highlighted from start of the level. Deleting objects is no longer instant. Avoid a caching issue, right, okay. Border tiles on the map of the Crystal River will not be inappropriately hidden by Fog of War. Fixed an issue where the tables and props in the tavern was not safe, right. Applied to fix the Revelation ritual. It should now work correctly. Okay, brilliant. Save now correctly account for the tile discovery. Okay, good. Fix gamma resetting when starting level. Good. Fix an issue that occurred when Fog of War is disabled. Right. Fix an issue where units would not gain stats when progressing to level 2. Right. Okay. Well, I'm glad that's been fixed, because what's the point of training your minions? They'll be redundant for the first 2 levels of their existence. And then as they level up to level 3, maybe it does jumps, or it used to jump up to that, what they should have been at. Units no longer show their torture progress constantly when rescued from enemy props, right? Fix an issue where units were not properly released from torture props, so they could be converted by an Inquisitor or Succubus after rescue. Right, okay, that's good. Pathing over sacred ground no longer constitutes as difficult for the Pathfinder. Right, that's alright then. Removed unused data from the FOW system, well, there it is. Fix a bug where the material cache was causing materials to leak. Right, okay, that's another good fix. Fix an issue where units were not updating Fog of War. Right, that's important as well, because you need to... I've noticed where imps or minions have gone close to an area which you can't see, and you couldn't see beyond it. They got close to it, and it was quite irritating. You had to use your prophecy spell in order to see what was there. What's this one? Fix C-temp. Right, okay, I haven't been on that map, so I'm glad they fixed that prior to me actually doing a video on it. Objects are now prevented from being created above walls. Good. Fix an issue that allowed units to move above walls. Good. Fix an issue where clients in multiplayer would not see their gold updating correctly. That's very important. You need to know how much gold you have in order to plan your dungeon effectively when facing an opponent online. Fix an issue where C10 campaign 10 would not be completed due to Canos deaths. Right, that's fine. Fix AI players not when it works. Right, that's good. Makes it a bit more competitive when you just want to learn against a computer. They'll actually build workers to do things more quickly. Someone fixed arena. Good. Fix a bug where units would appear rotated. Yes, I've seen that. Particularly when the cultists are using the archive, they would be facing the books, they'd be like to the side of it, so that's good. I'm glad they fixed that. Balance changes. Users are now less likely to search for extremely long paths over land rather than water. Good. Vampires will try to avoid water where possible. Good, because that was killing them. Campaign 8, reduce the number of enemies by 40%. Well, that makes it easier for me. Enemies are now level 5. Right, that's fair enough. Ghouls and necromancers are now more powerful. Very nice, good. Adjusted layout of final room. Brilliant. Campaign 11, swap water areas out for claimable bridges. Alright. It now takes 30 minutes for Mira to charge the Kenos up from 20. Right, well, that is, I'm not up to that level, and I'm sure I'll find out in due course. AI improvements. Workers no longer flee when they have important tasks to do, so building defense. Good. Because I found on Campaign 7 it was quite hard to build your defenses when they're under attack. So I had to do it all from the the defense shrines or the forge shrines, where they just develop them on their own. So I'm glad they fixed that. It makes it a little bit easier for that mission in particular, or if you're trying to defend your dungeon from another player online or in AI skirmish. Units will now correctly sleep when damaged. Good. Because I had like chaps who were falling asleep on the floor after they'd been damaged. Worker behaviour improved when delivering objects or rescuing minions while under attack. That's better. Workers now account for nearby threats when assigning tasks. The higher the threat, the lower the priority. Brilliant. Multiple miscellaneous improvements to worker behaviour and pathfinding. Good. Other small AI tweaks. Brilliant. Right, now visuals, audio, etc. Campaign map highlight is now green, and fire texture brightness reduced. Okay, that's alright. Empire crypts now use the Empire crypt task set. Good. Fixed dwarf granite being the wrong texture. Right. Dwarf and Empire granite are now a bit darker. Okay. New unit portrait for the Arcanist. Alright, that's cool. Campaign 8 cleaned up some textures, very nice. Campaign 11 updated all mirror textures and it's very shiny now, very good. We always like a shiny map. Shiny and colourful. Fixed granite being the wrong texture, good. Campaign 13 carpet tile set now uses hero connectors instead of evil archive connectors, good. Dalaran shield now purple, matching the inhibitors, very good. Campaign 13, all Empire defences and tiles now correctly team coloured as white, brilliant. Because you don't want to mix up your colours with their colours and think, oh, that's an allied turret, why is it hitting me? Or whatnot. The grass is green on the other side of the fence, whatever that means. Add multiple highlight colours, alright, good. Combat alert now shows a stack for the amount of units coming in combat, good. And flashes for each unit attacked, brilliant. Other changes, made rally target prioritization more reliable, more fixes to the game text, brilliant. We always want to know what actual spells do properly. Various minor fixes to underlying systems, brilliant. Zooming to a location will now keep your camera in orientation. So that brings us to the end of our patch video. Hopefully it hasn't been too boring for you. Please give me feedback as to whether you'd like to have something like a video, me playing the game and then just doing a voiceover for the patches. Might do that next time, see what your response is to that. But hopefully this has given you, if you haven't had a look at this, it's given you more of an insight as to what the guy, if you haven't been keeping up with the updates, as to what they are doing and how they are doing it and how it influences the game. I will post these links to each of these patches in the description below. But no, thank you very much for watching, guys, and you'll be getting more updates and on the tips and tricks series from me. So thank you again. I'll see you guys next time. Ciao for now.